That's right, we're going back to basics and doing a very basic video all about 5 things to know about being a furry. Have I done this video before? Probably. I did a bunch like this on my old fursuit that I still got sitting up above me right now. So you know what? How about I change it up? Let's do 5 things to know about being a furry in 2023. So let's start with number 1, because that's the first number in the English numeral language thingy mabobby. I'm smart. Number 1, there's a lot of scammers. So, now, of course, there's scammers wherever you go and have always been scammers in the fandom, or at least they have slowly become more and more. But in today's world where people are desperate for money like a beggar out in the streets, there's more of them today than ever. If you don't count the Great Depression, that is. With the rise of AI generated art comes the rise of more scammers pretending they're making art. You can generally tell they're scammers because they don't have like any other work on their pages and there's inconsistencies and so on. AI art is terrible in many ways, and one of them is scammers, and the furry fandom is no exception from them. And then of course there's the fake fursuit makers, of which we have all seen, but if you haven't, don't go buying fursuits on eBay, Amazon, and all that kind of stuff. Don't go buying them on there. But even if it's not those websites, just do your research. Ask someone if they have heard of this person and so on. But then there are real fursuit makers who are still scammers too, who will take years to finish a piece or do it as cheaply as possible. And we generally know who these people are these days. So yeah, again, do your research. And I'm just saying, like, it's more or less like there's so many of them out there now. Like, we do know of these people. In 2023, we are more aware of it. And then with VR chat being popular, there's fake sellers of 3D models, so yeah, with more furry stuff comes more scammers trying to sell those things. So in a way, there's more scammers now than ever, especially with the AI art. Number 2, a lot less understandable of kinks and fetishes. So this is basically talking about call out cancel culture. It became so huge in the last 2 years, probably thanks to that lovely disease keeping us indoors and people needing to do something and be angry at someone. But the last couple of years, I have seen the idea of cancelling someone over what they enjoy that hurts no one becoming worse and worse. For example, a lot of people being attacked for stuff they have on F-List, a website that allows you to list off all the naughty things you like and people will go after them who have something in there that they don't like. A list of which has probably not been updated for years since they first joined the furry fandom, so they kind of just added in a whole bunch of things to roleplay, yeah, because most of it is just for roleplay purposes. As let's be real, back in the day, we all did this website. Did stuff for it for a month and then forgot about it. And over time, our thoughts and views change and the stuff we like changes as we experience things and we have an understanding of what we don't want to experience and then we have an understanding more of like what those terms actually mean. And then yeah, forget about this website. But it's not just those who have that website. It's everyone that gets attacked with any kind of thing that could be interpreted as liking something bad. Example, Pokemon. Pokemon porn has been around for decades now, and over the last few years, I have seen people getting mad and angry and so much more disgusted at people who have Pokemon porn. Even though in the TV show, the games, and especially in the manga, characters have fallen in love with their Pokemon or went to the full extreme of marrying their Pokemon. It's in there. It absolutely is that humans and Pokemon have gotten married. It's very much canon in the universe that humans and Pokemon fuck. So stop having such a hissy fit if someone wants to bang a Pikachu. Even though, yes, ew, that's gross. I'm more of a Lucario guy myself. And he can talk, so you got nothing to say about that. Even so, there are people who will say you're bad for that, even though they can talk. It's just... It's so weird. It's so weird. Why are you in this fandom? Like, no one cared when I was first around. And then there were people who suddenly started getting angry at people and calling them out with zero proof that it meant anything in a real world context. Really harming people for no reason. And it just... irks me. And yeah, I've already gone through this in another video. And then one of the huge things that was like a little while ago that I made a video about was the why diapers. And a lot of people were hating people who had diapers because to them, they were just like, oh, that means you like this, which is completely false and completely stupid. And no one was really talking about it back then when I was around. Yeah, probably still, but like not to that extent. And like it's definitely gotten worse over the years. So next we have number 3. It can be very expensive. Now, like with the scammers, that's generally always been the case. Since I first joined the fandom over a decade ago, it's always been expensive. But with rising costs of living and artists claiming they need to eat food to be able to live, have you ever seen an artist eat food? I haven't. Probably because they can't afford it. They too have raised their prices, I've noticed. A lot are used to commission or raise their prices, for example, and they are within their right for sure to absolutely raise their prices. Absolutely. They should never lower the prices, should only ever raise them. Like, they're absolutely within their right to. I'm just saying it's gotten a lot more expensive in 2023, basically. Like, it's gotten much more expensive to commission people, and then there's new fursuit makers generally will make them higher prices because they know furries will pay for it, no matter the quality or how long it's gonna take. Because fursuits have a reputation of being expensive, and so they will make theirs expensive, even though they haven't been around for as long as like some of the other makers who have raised their prices over time. But also, with like it being like, you know, in the 2020s, we have VR chat and people wanting to experience that. So we got a bunch of people making models for it, which is expensive, and then just setting that all up is several $100s. So if you want to be a furry in VR chat, it's gonna cost you. And then same with VTuber stuff. That's expensive if you want to get into that. You don't have to do any of it. You really, really don't have to do any of it. You don't have to spend any money to be a furry. It's more so if that's what interests you, be prepared to pay for it. Literally. Number 4. Those furries. By that, I mean the furries who ruin it for everyone like pizza, dude. We all know you. We all know you're disgusting. Stop that. Those furries who do dumb stuff at conventions, making hotels really consider letting furries in, and in several cases, conventions having to move hotels because some furries like to just ruin it for everyone. And with social media being bigger than ever, basically, we know what happens at these conventions and who is doing it. And it will always be a stain on this fandom that you wipe off your butt and throw it in a toilet. But yeah, basically in the last few years, I have seen the rise of these people as the furry fandom grows larger and more online. You hear about these people, and it's only inevitable that we have to deal with these ruiners. The ones who just want to ruin the fun for everyone, or just like don't understand what they're doing. They have their own little bubble, their own little fun, and don't realize how stupid they're being. Not giving a damn about being a decent human being and having decent manners to clean up after themselves like kids at McDonald's. That's how bad they are. Though, honestly, to me, what's worse are the ones who are just like, but it's funny, haha, I found it funny, oh, it's so great, haha. You realize what this does to furries' reputations, right? Not to mention, hotels do not have to accept us. They have a right to say no to a furry convention. And it's getting to a point where hotels may ban us altogether if this keeps up. That's how I honestly see the future of furries, is getting banned from hotels. Number 5, there's a lot more haters in this fandom than you think. By this, I'm talking about the few gay men who hate women being in the fandom, which is very concerning and the weirdest thing I just have ever heard, but apparently it's a thing. And weirder is those who actually hate furries, yet are furries themselves. They basically like the anthro aspect of it all, but hate furries in general, and it's just like, you're just ashamed of who you are. Let's be real, that's how I see it. Like, there's gay people who hate being gay, and it's simply because they hate themselves. They hate who they are, and they can't accept it. And then there's those who hate trans people in the fandom and just all that kind of stuff, which I will never agree with them, or understand why you're in this fandom in the first place. Because there's plenty of LGBTQIA people in this fandom. Even more than when I started, that's for sure. And as more people find the fandom, it's only going to grow into this amalgamation of different people of all types all around the world. So happy I got that word right. So why are you here if you hate the entire community? Go away. So yeah, that's this short little video about being a furry in 2023. I wonder what disaster will happen this year that will get us talking for years to come. Looking forward to it. For now, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like and let me know down in the comments. Anything. Just comment your thoughts down below. Comment what you had for dinner. I don't care. Just comment something, please. I'll generally reply. I generally reply to all comments. So yeah, do that. Give this video a like and subscribe to my channel because I'll love you if you do. Hit that bell icon and VitoFox says, be who you want to be. Alright guys, bye for now.